Good evening there, Oregon Trail Council Scouters. Welcome to our Fireside Chat. I forget how many we've had in a row now, but we've had a few. I notice we've got some new folks on board tonight. It's a very good thing. My name is Randy Hill. I happen to be hosting the Fireside Chat. My dear friend Rob McLuhan is the tech guy. Let's go around the rest of the room and kind of introduce yourself right quick, if you will. Shintimony.
So our screens aren't all the same, so you might need to prompt us as to who's next, Randy. So hi, I'm Sherry. I think most of you guys know me, the DE for Shintimony, and Camp Director for Camp Baker.
Very good. Scott.
Scott Empcoven, Scout Executive, Oregon Trail Council.
Mr. Latome.
Andy Latome, Vice President for Program for the Council, Chinook District Eagle Border Review Chair.
Very good. Mike.
Mike Rice, Doug Furr, District Commissioner.
Very good. Yeah, he has a pseudonym called Alita.
Yeah, apparently, I don't know why that's showing up these days.
We're not in charge. Yeah. The other Shintimony. Mr. Ermer.
I'm Jim Smith.
Oh,
go ahead.
Phil, you're muted.
This is rehearsed.
There, that's probably better, right? Okay, so I'm the District Commissioner for Shintimony. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, used to be known as Benton and Yaquina. Very good. And my friend, Mr. Singer, you're muted already. Ed Singer's been around a long time. We'll come back to Ed. Okay. Emily Wilson, you're muted as well.
Well, I've got a little.
You remuted, Emily.
Oh, come on. There we go. Sorry, everyone. Hi. Thanks. I run just a small little troop in Reedsport with my husband, but I'm the communicator and the contact person, and I have a lot to learn. So here I am.
Welcome aboard. Appreciate it. Ed, you want to try it again?
Yeah, Ed Singer. I'm kind of retired. I just kind of want to keep track of what's going on and what's going on with Wood Badge.
Very good. Very good. Glad to have you again tonight. Jim Smith.
Sorry, my box had lit up with yellow. I thought it was my turn earlier. Jim Smith, I'm Eugene Reynolds' assistant as the ADC for Cascade District.
Thank you for being here. Nancy Adair.
I'm just getting into the district for Shintimony as the program chair. And I've been with Troop 2 for a long time.
All right, you're awfully soft-spoken, but welcome aboard nonetheless. Rush Hogue.
Good evening. I'm Rush Hogue, Central Service Area Roundtable Commissioner and Troop 100 Scoutmaster.
I'm glad to have you.
Sure.
We meet monthly for about 30 minutes. For those of you who haven't been here before, and we talk a variety of topics. Sometimes we're focused on function. Sometimes it's new folks that are joining us in the Oregon Trail Council. Tonight, we're kind of a free-form operation. We usually start off with Scott Empcoven, who's our Scout Executive. He gives us the state of the council. And Scott, can you do that tonight as well?
Sure. Be happy to, Randy. I want to start off by saying that I did change Mike Rice's name to the correct name on there on your screen now, Mike. So I did that just simply because I'm so tech savvy. I just wanted so.
I appreciate that, Scott.
You're welcome. A few things I know how to do. I just want to start off by saying, you know, we not a whole lot has changed as far as the state guidelines. We'll see what happens this week. Expecting some more information to come out. We'll mention that as far as upcoming events, we had about a 2.5 hour Lodge Executive Committee meeting the other night on Sunday night. We decided we took all of the state guidelines and then put it in front of our youth in the order of the arrow to let them determine whether they were going to have a workshop weekend in February that was going to be in person or whether it was going to be virtual. After looking at the guidelines, knowing that youth programs, you have to have groups of 10, they can only have so many leaders that they interact with during the course of the day. They just didn't see how it could be done. So the youth decided to go with a virtual workshop weekend in February. So they'll be doing that virtually, and just wanted to update everybody on that. Ed was asking the question about Wood Badge. Wanted to let you know that Wood Badge staff is taking a good, strong look at it. Gotten some guidelines from, or some suggestions from former course directors, but our course director for this year had some conversations with their staff, and they talked about whether they should do it or not. As of right now, their plans are Plan A, Plan B, and Plan C. Plan A is to still do a spring course, and they have a development coming up pretty soon. There'll be more discussion real soon about that. Plan B is to have a fall course, change the dates and go in the fall when things might be a little bit more open for us. And some of our scouters may be more willing to participate in the course like that in the fall rather than the spring. So we'll take a look at that. And Plan C, our last choice, is to cancel this year's course and do one next year. So that's where we are on Wood Badge as of right now, and we'll continue to update everybody on what's going on with Wood Badge as we move forward. We'll tell you that we are planning on doing day camps and summer camps this summer, both Baker and Malacca. Don't have a whole lot of signups right now, but I will tell you, as it looks, we may have to limit the size of those sessions this summer anyway. So we're taking a good, strong look at that, but we are accepting signups for anybody that chooses to go to Baker or Malacca. I believe this is the 75th anniversary of Camp Malacca. Beautiful location, so is Baker, but we are, again, accepting signups, and things may look a little bit different, but we plan on having, and Sherry and I actually just talked today about what we need to do to make sure that we have a COVID-safe environment for our scouts and our leaders that come to camp this summer. So still working on that and moving forward. A couple of new program areas that I'm really excited about. I think they're looking at an action archery this summer, and jump right in if I'm speaking out, and I shouldn't be, Sherry, but looking at an action archery area this summer, and also looking at sandboarding, which we haven't done in the past. So pretty excited about a couple of new program areas that will be happening at summer camp. The other thing I wanted to mention and make sure everybody knows that online now, and Rob's going to have to correct me if I'm wrong, but online now we do have our Silver Beaver application forms online. We're accepting those through March 31st, and we plan on recognizing our Silver Beaver recipients, as we always have, at annual recognition dinner on May 7th. That's Friday, May 7th. Now the plans for that is an in-person May 7th recognition dinner at Lane Community College. Our backup plan is we want to have it. We just, unfortunately, we weren't able to recognize our Silver Beaver recipients last year. We're still in the process of doing that. One of the 3 have been recognized, with 2 others still that we have to recognize in front of their peers. So we're planning on doing that. And no matter what, on May 7th, if we don't have an in-person annual recognition dinner, we will have a virtual recognition dinner. So I'm not going to bring around the dinners to everybody's house. You'll probably just have to bring your own plate. But we do plan on having the ceremonies and recognizing our recipients. And I think.
No rubber chicken.
Pardon?
No more rubber chicken.
Yeah. I think as far as updates, that's mainly what I wanted to talk about. We're glad that 2020 is over with. Andy can back me up and let you know that although the council ran, both Andy and Randy can back me up on this, although the council ran in a deficit last year, we really cut down that deficit to something well beyond where we thought we were going to get, especially when you look and think because of COVID, we were unable to raise $450,000 of revenue that we had budgeted. A good portion of that being camping revenue. But we cut into our expenses so that that we came in with less of a deficit than we thought we were going to be at, and really looking forward to 2021. We did get a Small Business Association PPP loan last year, and we have applied for a second round of the PPP loans for this year. If we are able to get that, that will put us off to a great start. So we'll just mention that. That's kind of finances, and wanted to be open up front. Our big push for our staff this year is membership. Getting out there and making scouting available to all those families that want to join. Now I'm done.
Very good, very good. You know, we saw some news here recently, Scott, concerning the diversity and inclusion merit badge. The National Council has backed off of the previously stated requirements to make it an Eagle required. Is that correct? So
yeah.
we're
one of the things, we've had some conversations around our council, and one of the, I think one of the problems that several of us in our council had is that we didn't want the diversity, equity, and inclusion merit badge to be a one-time sign-off, get everything taken care of and done and forgotten about merit badge. We think that's something that needs to be in our scouts' minds on a constant basis. So we've been talking about how we can, and I know, so nobody gets upset with us, but I know that the requirements for merit badges are the requirements for merit badges. You don't add any requirements, but that doesn't mean we can't have conversations with our scouts. And some of those conversations could be related to diversity, somebody that's missing an arm, how do they approach archery and work on archery merit badge? A lot of our scouts don't necessarily think about those things. Another question could be, and it's letting the scouts know that it's not a requirement, just asking their opinion and want an open discussion on it. Another one could be, related to finances and asking somebody, why is it that a Caucasian small business owner is more likely to get a small business loan than somebody of color that owns a small business? Those are the kind of questions we want to ask throughout, the appropriate merit badges for those, just to get the kids thinking about it. Not making it a requirement, but just to get them to think, so that it's a constant conversation and they are thinking about the others that are not like them, don't look like them. So that's kind of what we've thrown out there and what we're chatting about, and looking to make that happen as we move forward.
Yeah, we believe that's a stronger approach than the check the block routine that we were presented with initially. So more to come on that as we move farther down the line. So we've had 4 new people join our chat here in the last few minutes. Kelly, would you tell us who you are? Because there's a bunch of folks here that don't know you.
You mean me? Yeah.
Yeah. You, Kelly.
Kelly Brown, Chintimony District Chair. And I've been around scouting a long time.
Yeah, he has this relationship with, Baden Powell. Yeah, we always got to say that to the old guys, okay?
That's right.
Katrina, I'm back to you. Bob Rogowski.
Howdy.
Howdy.
I'm still, I have a equipment failure here on my microphone on the laptop, so I'm on phone, but I got picture. So one out of two is pretty good, I guess. And I have, with the Troop 1 in Chintimony District, I'll have to leave here to go there because they have a Tuesday night. And so that's where I'll be throwing my gear later.
Very good. We're glad you could check in with us. Claudette, you want to introduce yourself as the council commissioner? Does everybody know Claudette McWilliams?
And you won't see me tonight, evidently. I'm still fighting with my computer screens, and I apologize for that. But I suspect the picture is a better depiction of what I look like than how I look now at the end of the day. So yes, I am excited to be the council commissioner. I've had an opportunity to meet several of you that are participating tonight, but some of you I haven't, and I look forward to having that chance in the future.
Thank you, Claudette. Appreciate that. And I wanted to come back to Katrina, especially, and Katrina, you're still mute, so you get equal time here in a bit. But Katrina comes from the far southern reaches of the Oregon Trail Council. Is that Phoenix? Is that correct, Katrina?
Yeah. Fair enough said. It's from a little town called Casa Grande, south of. So I'm Katrina, and raised two sons in what used to be PAC 241 in the Gillum neighborhood, and then two Eagle Scouts in Troop 100.
Very good. And I say this about Katrina being on the southern edge of the Oregon Trail Council, because that indicates not only the reach of what we're trying to do, but it also indicates the possibilities of what we're trying to accomplish here through virtual meetings. One of the things that's going to happen here soon is Claudette and some of the Commissioner Corps are assisting with the Area 1 Commissioner College, which is going to be run virtually out of Spokane or something. And they're reaching out to folks from here down to Odessa, Texas. Katrina, you're probably going to get an invite to teach a course. And so we've got a broad reach on the virtual side of the world. And I think that's awfully important that we recognize that we do have a new world, and we can adapt and overcome. My new position is as the VP for District Operations. What that means is that I'll spend some very quality time with the district chairs, much to their chagrin sometimes, and we will attempt to help each other and our adults is what it amounts to. I'm also going to spend time with all the functional chairs in the council so that we begin to expand the reach and the support across the council for things like training and membership approach, and how we tie things together and get support out to the Commissioner Corps and the various units. So that's what I'm going to be doing in the next short while. It's going to be an interesting transition to come out of commissioner service and directly into an indirect unit support role. That's for the near future. That's the nuts and bolts of what we've got tonight. Are there some interesting topics that we would like to point out? Nobody said anything about the EPA award. Is it EPA that just came up with a new award that our scouts can earn? But we did talk about the Diversity Merit Badge. What other exciting topics are out there that we'd like to touch? And Emily and Nancy, if you have specific questions, you can either dump them into chat or surface them in this forum, and let's get at some of those things that are of real interest to you. Floor is open. Devastating silence.
So I'll speak up for just a minute if you don't mind.
Please.
We, in our annual meeting for the council, came up with a great idea of having units videotape or photograph their outings and submitting them to Rob so that we can get them on the website and show people that Scouts is still happening locally. A lot of what we have access to is like out of council stuff. And so I think it's really, really important that we start showing what the in-council packs and troops are doing.
Can you talk about the first one, Sherry?
Sure. So Troop 2 out of Corvallis is going to be filming a 7-mile hike that they're going to be doing around Silver Falls, right, Nancy? Silver Falls? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And they'll be doing that on Saturday and getting that submitted. And it should be a whole lot of fun, and hopefully we can use it on Facebook and put it on, excuse me, on YouTube and anywhere that we can get reach to, hey guys, this is what we're doing still.
Scouting is very much alive. We just need to be public about that. Thank you. That's going to be exciting. Better than watching somebody from across the country tell us about scouting, huh? Good. All right, Nancy, you're running out of time. Emily, you're running out of time.
I am so new to this. I'm just gonna. I don't know where to start. So I'm gonna be talking a lot with Sherry and a lot with Kelly and finding my way.
They're experts. They can help you get in the right direction. Yeah, part of the overall district operations support is the both the training and the membership. And I got to tell you, we got a couple of experts, Mark Sandifer on the training side and Danita Basinger on the membership side. And both of them have already hit the ground running in the recent past to get their portion of the Oregon Trail Council up and running and smoking, okay, moving fast. So I do appreciate those folks. So it's coming. It's coming. Jim, you've done some good work with PAC 450 in Marcola. Can you tell me what you've experienced up there? Because you folks were affected by the wildfire back on Labor Day, and yet I still see that that particular unit is going strong. Can you tell us about that for just a few moments?
Well, maybe if they recharter, Randy, that's where we're at.
Just takes time.
Yeah, the parents all said in November that they wanted to recharter, and but I don't see much movement at this point, though phone calls have been made and all that, and I'll probably be prodding them along here this week or so. In any case, they have the funds to recharter. They were involved in several fundraisers. So it's just a matter of time, and the parents will. But, we had that pack with about 4 members unregistered the first year, and I was told, give up. You don't have enough people. And then we registered and had a legal pack, and it grew up to 14, and then we lost 4 that moved out of state this summer. So hopefully we'll charter 9. And how I got that started was I spoke to the superintendent, I spoke to the principal, the PTO, and they supported. And the PTO is again this year agreed to charter the unit. So there were conversations about that, and we began to meet in the media center. And that's kind of the story on PAC 450. They have a long history in the Mohawk Valley. It doesn't hurt to be a scouter and the school board chair when you're asking those questions. But, so maybe for some of you, you want to get involved. And I know Oregon State right now is putting out their recruiting information, trying to recruit school board members. And they have a video up of what those duties imply. So, that was my way of getting in to speak to people. And I got to tell you, they were supportive, and they still are very supportive.
Thank you.
New superintendent, new principal, new assistant principal, all support scouting.
Yep. So I think really the point that comes to us from there is, if you don't ask, you don't get. And quite frankly, when you look at the kids that were unregistered, now they're registered. So it's a matter of staying with it and keeping contact with families, I think, and continuing to plug away at what we know to be the best community in the world, no doubt about it. And I'd also like to welcome Michael Umbriaco to us. He's his forehead anyway. There you go. Yeah, ADC for Cascade District, and welcome. We appreciate having you here tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Jim, I just wanted to apologize for that crying. That was me when you said that that they might not recharter. So sorry about that.
Well, I think the key there, Scott, is having a leader that's motivated. And I just, I asked the question, and I was told he was committed for this year, but I'm having doubts. And I told Eugene, I said, I may have to pick up doing that again. And that's kind of, the thing about leaders is you have to be determined to succeed versus letting people tell you, oh, maybe you are to wait till next year. And earlier in the year, that's what some had said, with COVID, maybe you are to wait till next year.
Yeah.
And I think if you have that gap, then you lose years.
And I can tell you, finding the right people to take over those leadership roles, Jim, that's the important thing. All of us that have been involved long enough you look at good quality units and you can point your finger and just about say who it is that's making, in some cases it's a whole group, but in a lot of cases it's one or two people that are really making that unit successful.
Right, and I think that has to do with their training level is pretty high. With the first 4 or 5 months, they had about a 70% training level. And then we added a person and that dropped down, and then it's back up. So, what I see that correlates among units, you take Troop 179, for example, they're 100% on YPT, they're 100% on training, and the girls is the same way. Mark Sanford has done a great job there. So when you have those units highly trained, it makes a difference.
Yeah, I think all those things sure apply. It makes things click. So, Nancy, we know that you're real new, but we're going to circle back to you and see if there's something in particular we can help you with, because there's a world of experience just in this group right here, as well as the scouters that are that surround you. So don't feel like you're out there by your lonesome. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. All this stuff that we talk about is written down. It's been proven. It works. It worked back when Andy was a little guy. It works today. It just, no doubt about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it does work. Andy, have you seen any changes in scouting across the years? Few changes.
Oh, yeah, just a few. It would be hard to name them all.
Yeah.
But this is a great time to be in scouting. And years ago, and Scott, it may be before your time, BSA's national motto one year, and I want to say it was in about the 60s, maybe 70s, was "Boy, do we need scouting." And I think we can say that again. I think it's time for that, maybe for that motto to come around. Some of us kind of epitomize the national slogan that they had, scouting rounds a guy out. Those of us who've had to punch extra holes in our belts over the years. can attest to that. But the slogan that said, "Boy, do we need scouting," I sure think we do. You know, and not just the activities. You know, when we go out and do training and recruit leaders and kids, we talk about the fact that 80% of scouting is outing, and that's true, but right now that's difficult. But more than checking off 21 merit badges and doing a project for being an Eagle Scout is, do you understand and agree to live the ideals of scouting? And that's what we really need. You know, if we as leaders can bring the idea across to our young men and young women through the activities that we give them, that it's the oath and the law, the motto, the slogan, that's where we really make a difference locally, nationally, and worldwide. And when you think back to Baden-Powell's days, who Ed knows intimately, you know, does that uniform still fit, Ed? Your Baden-Powell uniform?
No, I've had to buy a larger sized jacket.
Yeah, see, scouting round's a guy out. So, you know, I just think it's remarkable that 1908 Brown Sea Island, Baden-Powell's vision for this really was universal. It was well beyond, you know, 20 odd kids on an island in the summer. He really had hopes that this would be a worldwide force for good. And, you know, it certainly can be. I look at the changes even that took place in the program at the last World Jamboree compared to the one in 87, 88 that I had the opportunity to go to and take a bunch of kids from the Pacific Northwest to Australia. The difference in the program and the things that were being offered there compared to what was offered here a couple of years ago. Scouting's grown up. You know, we've adjusted to the times, and there are some who would say, yeah, you know, but I really miss not being able to cut down a green branch and weave a tennis racket to cook my hamburger on. You know, the world's changed, and BSA's done their best to keep up with it. Guess I ought to get off my soapbox now.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate that because you've always got cogent things to tell us about scouting, and I think that's awfully important. So if you didn't, go ahead, Nancy or Katrina.
So Randy, would you mind, can I take a second to kind of reinforce what Jim said and then how Andy followed up with it? So y'all, most of you don't know me. I'm an elementary school teacher. And so life is on Zoom right now, right? Let me tell you, the kids are done. They absolutely hate, they don't hate me. I don't take it personal, but they hate Zoom. They don't want to be on Zoom, and you know, teachers don't want to be on Zoom either. It's so during this COVID time, to be a middle school or high school boy or gal, it's not fun. School is not fun, and they don't want to be on Zoom anymore. And so Rush was leading a meeting the other night that I attended, and we were talking about that, how you know, if the world of scouting is in Zoom, that's just more Zoom for them. And so when Jim was saying that some people were encouraging, you know, this is the off year, this is the COVID year, just let it go for a while. I hear you, but I come at it from the exact opposite point. If ever there was a time for these guys and gals to need us to step up more, to give them something out of their house where they're engaging with their fellow age groups, this is more the time for scouting to be in their life. And and then when Andy said, you know, scouting has something to offer now, couldn't agree more. And the challenge to me is, so if they're living their life in their living room on Zoom, what can we offer them that's safe? And if that is, you know, we all dread the fight with them over them being on their cell phone. Okay, so if you spin that and you turn it around and you say, bring your cell phones, because we're gonna download the geocaching app, let's go. And if you had teams of patrols in different areas, and you know, obviously with 2 Deep leadership, not all meeting at the same traditional meeting place, but meeting at different places around town where a patrol could go find a geocache. Or if it was Cub Scouts, if you dropped off rockets at their front door and said, Saturday, we're all going to meet socially distanced apart in the park to set off our rockets. And I'm sorry, I'm talking too long, but I just wanted to totally back up Andy and Jim saying we're more important now in their life, because they're not getting it at school, and they're not getting it sometimes from church or from their basketball team. What is it we have to offer, and how can we get it to them to fill the void that they have? Because boy, as a teacher, I'm telling you, they're not getting it from me.
Very, very powerful. You're exactly right. This is not the time to fail in scouting. Now's the time to step forward as a leader, find these avenues, get the kids out of the house and go do things. Now's the time. Jim, you had one other comment and then we got to go.
Okay, just a quick one for you guys that fits right into what you guys are talking about here. We have two units that I'm working with here in the Creswell area. One is a troop and one is a pack. And the troop has just taken the courage to go ahead and meet face to face. They were just on a snow camp this weekend, for example. So the scouts in that troop are just totally active and enjoying scouting right now. Scouting is what it's supposed to be for them, right? The pack, on the other hand, has a lot of terrified people, and they've been doing a Zoom thing, and their population I've watched it go in the last 6 months from 22 active people in that troop, adults or that pack. I've watched them go to 4 right now, where they're almost gone. It's just, and I'm hoping that with the vaccines right now, that we'll be able to encourage them to maybe have some outdoor meetings or something like that. That's the plan right now. But I totally agree with you guys. It's devastating.
Yeah. The outdoor thing is crucial to where we are today. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. Mike, thanks for hanging in there down in Creswell. I know it's been an uphill struggle for you to try to assist those units. I've been watching that from the outside in. Thank you very much. Jim Smith, you get to wrap this up.
Well, I just want to make a point to what Katrina said, and I know Medford did file a resolution to the state, to ODE, to Coke Gill, saying that kids were being socially and emotionally harmed. And that's exactly right. If you had said in March, when we went to Zoom in our district, we were leading in that area, that this pack would have recharged. In September, when we came back for a couple of weeks and we did our Kessler birdhouses and we met in this room, and in November when they voted, that pack was going to recharter. But when the governor came out and had, 6 people, no more than 2 families, that really, really, really hurt. And it is an opportunity. I said that last March, that we need to take it more Zoom. It's hard with packs, but even socially, if you don't have a great structure, it keeps the kids connected. And, they're not doing that right now. And that would probably make a huge difference, because all those kids really enjoy when they do.
Absolutely.
In person is not the same. Teachers in our district is the same way. In person, certified distance learning is not the same as in person. The teachers want their kids back. We want our kids back. And, if I could tell them that they're going to be meeting soon, then that would make a huge difference. And I tried that, only to find out, you know, that our teachers are not going to get vaccinated on the 23rd of January, like they thought that you know, that there was no national reserve of the vaccine. And so though I would have said our school district was going to open in February and have a meeting place by February 15th on an aggressive time schedule. And then when the no vaccine for teachers hit, that's going to delay that. At this point, I don't know how much. But
yeah, and that's where, and I think
we've got to use the tool of Zoom and keep the kids together. And I've recommended that for all the scout troops. Majority of mine are. There's maybe one that's.
Yep.
And you look at those troops that are doing virtual, they're running pretty strong. They may have lost a few people, but they're running pretty strong. Our emphasis, I believe, needs to be on Cub Scouts, getting them going.
Yeah, let me kind of wrap this. Yeah, let me kind of wrap this up, if you don't mind. We're now at 10 minutes after the hour. The reality is that the teachers, the administrators, the government folks are not going to bail us out from a scouting standpoint. The people that are going to keep scouting going are the people on this fireside chat. It's the people that care about scouting and that care about the community that we're involved with. I don't say that we're responsible for it, but we are sure involved with it. And the more that we can be personal and approachable and supportive with our units and spread that word, the better off we're going to be. And we can pull scouting through this hard time. Mike Umbriaco has shown it down there. Katrina Sugar tells us about it. I know that Rush is doing it in Troop 100. Andy has great ideas, and on and on and on. It's all about what we do as volunteers, quite frankly. Any other 2-second comments, and we're done. 1, 2, 3. Bob, thanks for joining us. Go to your troop. We'll see you later on. We're done. Thanks, Rob.